What up, what up, what's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
I don't think he back yet. Okay.
I just love my Jesus Christ Superstar. I don't know why I love that part. I have no idea why, as I put ice in my glass. Hey, y'all.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Your intro is so long. I went downstairs, made a drink, sucked my husband's dick, and came back. It was still going.
I love it. And the sad part is, I still end up not being ready. You would think that was enough time to, have a pilgrimage to Mecca and come back. And my subscribers will tell you, I'm still prone to not being ready. With
no, I love it. It gives me enough time to get myself together.
But what I do like about it is it does give them a chance to get, to
get in here.
Some of the laughs, and some of my subscribers know the intro better than me. We were at real quick, B and Abby. We were at we went to go eat, and some of our a couple of my subscribers came, right, because they were here in Atlanta. So after that, we were like, somebody said Jesus Christ, and then I said Superstar, and the whole half of the table said it was so hilarious. So hilarious. Ooh. Anyway, y'all, I mean, we got to make some fun for ourselves because the goddamn episode, it was not interesting, so I got to do something.
The best part was when Kenya fell.
Listen, they think I'm a horrible person because I was screaming at at the ground on television saying, "We were rooting for you. We were rooting for you." That's what I was screaming at the ground when she was not when she ended up not being hurt. I was screaming at that ground.
Oh, okay, that's not nice. I would never root for her to be hurt, but it was nice. It was funny, and I didn't feel bad when I found out she was hurt either. Fuck
She
her.
said,
Listen,
and then girl.
We'll
Some
get
people
to
said
it.
she was faking it.
We'll
yeah,
get,
I guess we'll get to it. I mean, it ain't gonna take us long. We'll be there in just a second.
okay, so yeah.
Child, they still in Portugal. Darren, I feel like you've been quiet. What you got going on in your head, sir?
What I got going on in my head.
Yeah, you all quiet and stuff. Let me say hey to the people. Hey, L Love.
Hey.
Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper.
Hey everybody.
Sharon Ware. Janae. Janae is my medical expert. Lil Baby is my housewives and reality TV expert. So I got some experts in the audience. Lil Baby knows all things, all housewives franchises, all of them.
Oh wow.
So she's our fact checker.
I'm
And
not
Janae is in the healthcare field. And so she's our medical expert anytime we have anything. Medical
And let me
expert.
tell you, I mean, were we going in order of the timeline or
You might as well.
okay,
I
yeah.
guess.
Well,
It ain't gonna take us long to get to wherever you try to get to, trust me.
It's not. There's a lot of scenes where we could just skip it.
Yeah, no, something yeah, because
Or it's some things I can't. We start off with Drew going outside crying, and Candy said, "And sing." Sonya, Kenya, and Sheree follow her. Sheree says she's being real dramatic.
yeah.
I basically checked out at that point. I didn't really care about Drew and her raggedy tears because it seemed so contrived. I was like, girl, this ain't got nothing to do with this lawsuit. Let's be clear. Like it became immediately apparent because even in the confessional, when production asked her, when they said we feel like you're not telling the girls something, she didn't say anything about the damn lawsuit. She started talking about Ralph and her not trusting him and said that he out in Vegas and people was putting oil on him. Go ahead, Derek, because you got more than I do.
That woman slept with Ralph. The woman that was suing them, the woman that's suing them.
Woman suing him slept with Ralph.
Yeah, because wasn't that the same one? She said something about she was doing the massages and shit. Like she was doing other shit. I don't know. There's something weird going on between.
Baby, I don't know. Lil Baby, I need you to check. Can you let us know? Is this the same woman, Lil Baby? I look to you, Lil Baby.
That's what she said in the confessional.
The only thing I have to say about this scene is like, first of all, I'm not understanding why Drew is on this show to begin with. She's not Atlanta. She has no ties to the city. She's not from the South. She's an actress. I feel like Kenya Moore is the only actress that we need on this show.
And I don't like her.
But that's all we. But we need Kenya, even though I don't like her. We need her. We don't need.
She is a good villain.
Absolutely, we don't need Drew.
Yeah, no.
We don't need. I don't know who.
We absolutely don't.
Who would you rather go, Drew or Sonya?
Both.
Drew, if you had to pick.
I gotta pick.
I'm going to say Drew because I don't
Sonya.
like looking at Ralph, but I do like looking at Ross.
I would say Sonya because even though Drew don't bring it, I still got love. I got a little bit of love for Drew. I don't mess with Sonya.
I don't know why.
Right.
I have no idea why.
I mean, but at least Drew's intentions are kind of pure though. Like it's clear that something is going on. Yeah, well, clearer than her intentions are purer than freaking Sonya's.
Are they?
I just feel like Drew creates confusion, especially with the tears. Like that's one thing. She's an actress, and she can cry on the drop of a hat, and it's like it just makes the show not fun anymore and not enjoyable.
I remember when Sonya was crying on scene, child, when they was talking about that sister girl. That did not warn you to. You just feel like my sister girl. Shut up.
I don't understand why Sonya's on the show either, but I take her over Drew.
I'm taking. Yeah. You mean keep her?
I would. Yeah.
No.
Who's next? What's the next scene, child?
I'm sorry. My technology is doing a lot. The next scene was the next day because they eventually come back in after she was crying and stuff. I ain't really care. I wasn't even paying attention. Then we see the next day, um, they wake up and they go and they start having breakfast, and that's when Kenya met the floor. Kenya met the ground. Now, mind you, Kenya, there was a big sign right there. Now, that's not on the people. It was a big ass yellow sign. It was in the shape of a banana peel. I remember seeing that basically said caution, wet ground. It had been raining. She be, Kenya complains about Drew being dramatic and other people being dramatic, but she is real dramatic.
Yeah.
She had that whole thing at the when they were in Alabama when she was trying to make a scene for for the show, and they sent her ass home because it wasn't that wrong with her. And it's the same thing here.
No
Girl,
bones
you
is
had
broken.
a tumble. Scarlett takes the tumble. I'm not saying you wasn't sore, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you see how at first she wasn't crying, and then when people started to come around her, she started crying. It was like, girl,
But my thing
like,
did
So
y'all
my
notice
thing,
that I'm
you
sorry,
want
y'all noticed that she came in with the slippers on? Like she ran out with house shoes on. And
right?
it's like, I mean, I get it, you don't want to have your heels on, but I'm like, okay, it's you clearly see that it's raining
Uh-huh.
and you're walking out the house on a wet surface with slippers on. So that makes me feel like I don't know. Because you can't put
Did
nothing
you
past
want to
it.
get paid for technically being on this episode, but not really interacting with the other girls and doing your job?
well, she reminds me of little kids. You ever see little kids like they'll bump their head on something and they won't cry. As soon as their mom looks at them and picks them
Right.
up, then they just start crying because they're like, "Oh my God, I guess I'm supposed to cry because everybody's fun." And you like,
Yes.
that's how I feel Kenya was
Girl,
in
that,
this
that
scene.
that lady wasn't hurt. We've all felt like that before at one time in our lives.
Well, Kenya has arrested development. I really do think that Kenya's growth stopped at, I don't know, maybe 13 or something, because that's how she interacts with everything. I mean, look at how she handles her relationships like a child.
Hmm.
So
How do y'all feel about Courtney head ass talking
she's
about
so
sometimes things happen for a
I was with
reason?
Courtney. I was like Karma. I completely agree with Courtney. When
Yeah, but
Courtney
that
said,
wasn't for her
"Well,
to say. That wasn't for her to say, child, because we
yeah,
don't
right.
live
I
in
agree.
we
that
I
don't
don't
live
mean
in
it wasn't true."
I don't even believe in karma. If karma existed, Black people would not be in the position that we are today. So I don't really believe in karma. But
and
and
Trump would have been dead by now.
and if karma really did exist, Kenya Moore would suffer like the way she should have suffered a long time ago.
Mm.
She
But
is a damn mess, but she laid out there on that flow. She had a lot going on. She begged Candy to go with her. Candy better than me, honey, because I would have looked, baby. No,
when did Candy and Kenya become friends?
Yeah, like
I
they real
don't know,
besties.
because Kenya be coming at her throat.
On the Watch What Happens Live, they asked Candy a question and about Kenya's butt being fake, and Candy was like, "Don't talk about my friend's butt," and I'm like, "Oh, you guys are." I think it's more of an alliance than a friendship.
It's an
Yeah,
alliance because Kenya is the closest thing to like one of the longest people that have been on. I mean, she's been on here for a minute now,
Yeah,
and she don't know these girls. She don't know
she's
these.
definitely an OG.
Yeah. She's kind of,
I mean,
kind of.
it's Sheree, Kenya, and
But Candy
Candy.
don't like
Candy
Sheree.
came what, season 2?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kenya came, I think, season 5 or 6,
5
five.
or 6.
Yeah, Sheree is
and
the original.
Sheree came season 1.
Yeah,
What year did Sheree leave? Season 4,
5.
5.
5.
Yeah, when Kenya
She
came.
left. She would when Kenya came. Sheree was gone. I remember that,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't come back until season what,
10.
10? Yeah, so she was out for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Um,
As she should, and they should have left her out for another
yeah.
6 years because she brings nothing to the show.
Hey, Sweet Pea.
You see how
So,
Candy was coming for on Speak on It? Said that girl got a crimson chin.
um,
True.
then they go to the market. They talked about the Bolo situation. I ain't care.
Child, I'm sorry. I started watching the Queen's Men, and I think Bolo is one of the
He
men.
is. He's on there.
Okay. All right.
But anytime they show his penis, they never show the real thing. They always show a prosthetic
Oh,
of him. Some of the other guys, they show real ones. They've shown a prosthetic. Now, I've seen his real peen many times over.
In person, like at a strip club?
I've seen it in person and I've seen it on video. It's big.
Where his videos at? Hold on.
Oh, they're easily found. You can go search that up real easy. That's a quick Twitter search, Chatty. It is big. Hell, he got videos of him fucking a watermelon, and he has to put this big hole because it's really, really thick. Like it's one of those. You ever had a peen where you can't put your hand all the way around it? One of those grotesquely large ones.
Never.
Yeah.
You never had one. Oh, you gotta try it. It's so. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. With the thick ones like that. Here's the deal. Here's how you take it. It's gonna be hell on earth the first minute or two, but once your body adjusts, they gotta have length along with it. Because if they don't have length to go with the girth, you kind of get your body kind of adjusts and kind of says, okay, I can do this. And it ain't as bad as it was at first. But if they got some length to go with that girth, then that can rearrange insides.
And that's exactly what Bolo has.
He has some length now. That's true. He's not the longest thing you've seen in the world, but he definitely does have some length. But you notice the girth more than you notice the length, which makes the length deceiving because it does make the length not seem as long as it really is.
Right. How did y'all? I know this is unrelated, but how did y'all feel about when Portia fucked him?
I probably would have. Girl, I ain't mad at it. Girl, get it out.
She's trying to deny it too. She's like, I didn't do it, girl.
Girl.
I'm sorry. I thought it was kind of sleazy. I don't know.
She's a sleazy girl.
Really? Why?
Because he's a stripper, and like I just think
I'm a stripper.
I'm a stripper.
This is my life.
I just think that's what he does with all his clients, and I guess as long as they use protection, but I'm okay. Like I
don't think strippers do it with all of their clients. Now, some strippers are escorts. Now, I would feel worse if she did it with an OnlyFans content creator, because them bitches are whole ass whores. Let's be clear.
Okay,
sure.
Raccoon.
I don't see much of a difference. Sex work. I mean, I don't want to shame sex workers, but I just thought it was just like, oh, gross.
Like the people say, sex work is real work.
Will never go down like that. They are very for show, and that's it.
Because I was gonna say that most strippers I know, especially the male strippers, unless you paying,
I'm saying
real money,
$1,200.
Get down like that.
$1,200 an hour.
Now the girls, the real women, down to when they trying to get put on or trying to climb the ladder, go from being the midday shift to being the happy hour shift to being the main attraction shift, then they may do some things.
I'm sorry.
Because most male strippers, I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any strip clubs that are male strip clubs, but those are few and far between. So when you do have male strippers, they do end up having to work parties. And things like bachelorettes parties, and they do get broke off and paid a lot. And so, it's now I'm talking to somebody who knows. I know at least about 8.
Oh wow!
Yeah, at least about 8 strippers off the top of my head.
Male
that
ones?
I know personally.
In general.
Male
ones or both male and female?
Male.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, what are you at?
Oh.
At least she ain't fuck ridiculousness.
Now, if you giving them the right amount of money, they'll go ahead and break you off. If you ain't giving them the right amount of money, maybe they're gonna keep it moving.
So you think that Portia?
They ain't giving no freebies. Now I say this: they ain't giving you no freebies.
I don't think Portia paid. I think that man probably was.
Well, they had a threesome allegedly with her and Son.
Now, if I am Bolo, he was strategic and smart about it. You're gonna fuck somebody for free from Real Housewives of Atlanta, because that most people had no idea who he was before that. I knew who he was. I remember him from that show Vivica Fox had with all of those male strippers. He was on that show. So was the guy on Sisters who's bleaching his skin. He was on there too. And I think he's on All the Queen's Men as well.
I literally just watched the first episode.
Yeah, he's Madam's nephew or whatever.
Yeah, isn't he? Okay. Yeah.
But that's the same guy. He was on the stripper show that Vivica Fox had too. So all of them was on that child.
Right. And they got canceled because she was upset.
But people really didn't know who Bolo was. The greater public did not know. I knew who he was, but so he parlayed that into, All the Queen's Men, and people know him. He's a household name now in the Black community. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or in a lot of, not all the Black community, but people, if you say Bolo, more people know him now than knew him before then. Hell, he got more free press this episode too, because they don't even talk about it being so-and-so's bachelorette party. It was it Portia's bachelorette party? Whose bachelorette party?
I forgot who it was. I don't even think it was a bachelorette.
We don't even remember whose bachelorette party it was.
It was Candy. No, Candy was.
No, it wasn't Candy's bachelorette party.
It wasn't her bachelorette party, but Candy was the one who was hosting it. It was Kenya's trip. It was Candy's. Kenya's trip, and then Candy hosted the party because. Because remember she came out in the whole outfit.
Yeah.
But we don't even remember what it was for. Right. We just remember it being the Bolo trip. That's a branding. I ain't mad at it. Shit.
Okay.
But that was back when Tanya was still on this show, and I like Tanya.
Oh yeah, it was Cynthia. It was Cynthia's bachelorette.
Yeah, her big
yeah. She got married, and
it was Cynthia's bachelorette. I thought it was a bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm. She got married and now she's divorced again. It's tragic.
A mess. But y'all see how we remember Cynthia's bachelorette? They didn't even mention Cynthia or the bachelorette part. They just said, "Oh, the Bolo situation."
Because Cynthia don't stand the fuck out. She just
she's very forgettable.
Yeah,
they talked about that in the interview.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We all over the place.
I mean, this is better than the goddamn thing. I mean, I'm just saying. So you said, Darren, you would have gave Bolo something?
Not Bolo. Not
Bolo.
See, I like certain strippers. Okay, he I don't know. He just
which strippers? Since we're going down the pantheon, what strippers do I like?
I like the ones that do freaky shit.
I do. He does freaky shit. Then that's
Bolo don't be doing freaky shit. All he do is sling the dick, and then he just be moving around.
No, he the one who bring all kinds of props and stuff and licking himself and he got the whole thing fucking the watermelon and serving the watermelon out of the watermelon too.
See, that's another reason why I couldn't fuck a stripper, because some of the stuff that they do is so corny to me, like fucking a watermelon, and
then feeding the watermelon to you. I probably would eat the watermelon, but he's too thick for me. I don't like muscular guys like that. That's not my thing. All the muscle. That's too much muscle for me.
That's just this corny. Like that does not turn me on. So no, I would not fuck Bolo.
Oh, you ain't like Girls Trip when they put the thing in the grapefruit. That man.
I like Kofi though.
That man.
Woo.
I like Kofi though. Woo. So that is different. Kofi. Oh Jesus, Kofi. Oh Lord, I need to drink off that. Oh Jesus.
Okay, I don't know that man by the name, but we're talking about the same man, right?
From Queen Sugar.
Yeah, and he was on.
That's Kofi.
I think he's Ghanaian. He's African.
Lord. All his brothers fine too.
I believe it. I think we're the same age, or is he younger than me? I don't know, but he's fine. Who next? So I'm ready to get to these hot topics.
Okay. I'm sorry. They go to this restaurant. Marlo talks about her first date with Scott Lee and shows the pictures. Nobody cared. Sheree calls Martell.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cared. Marlo apologizes to Drew for cussing her out at the winery.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But my thing is this: what the fuck was wrong, Mayetta? When your people, let me just say this: when your peoples is not there and you is around businesses you don't fuck with, why are you talking? Why? But not why are you talking? But like, why are you saying stuff that's kind of girl? You was trying to
fake as hell like that.
What was wrong with Mayetta's wig? It looked like she got it from the 99-cent store.
That shit was raggedy. Like that shit was from the gas station. Let me get that up there.
Looked like she got it at
You
the
know
store.
how when you go to the gas station to get a I almost said an Arab because in Miami we call t-shirts or like white t-shirts we call them Arabs because they call them Arabs because you get it from the Arab. But anyway, it's like when you go to the store and you be like, you need a shirt real fast. Let me get that shirt up there. Go ahead, yeah, get that. The little t-shirts that they sell at the corner store.
It looked like it was $19.99. A little shake.
Girl, that's what her wig was. That wasn't even a shake and go, honey. That wasn't even a shake and go wig. That was a shake and throw in the garbage.
She's such a whack ass bitch. I'm sorry.
But you know what? Marietta is disappointing me this season because I really wanted her to replace Drew or Sanya. Well, not really Sanya because I still want to see Ross a few more times and then she could replace her. But I wanted Marietta to become a main cast member, and she's just not doing it for me right now. But that makes sense. She's the AKA, and most of them don't do it for me anyway.
Oops.
Moving forward.
You do realize that we're on episode what? 10, 12,
11,
and we've only seen Ross all of 1 or 2 times. So
that's all I need.
Oh, wait a minute. Manietta's with that white man?
I'm going to need more times than that. If
that's with the white man.
Oh, she is with the white man. Okay, that's
what's good, Bobo? Bobo, you say let me get a white 2X. Yes.
I'm sorry. Maybe this may not be the place to say it, but I just think Mayetta is a ditzy bitch. And I don't, Darren, we've had this conversation about how, she constantly blames Neil for her tying her tubes. And I just think that that's just.
But if her tubes are only tied, can't she get them untied?
But my thing is, like, you tied your tubes because a nigga asked you to. It's giving pick me. Like, what? Like, what? You put your reproductive health in the hands of a man and you're mad that it didn't work out in your favor? No.
But she can get them untied.
Yeah,
I think she permanently did it. She made a permanent decision on the behalf of a man, and now he's gone, and he went and had other children. Well, of course. I mean, of course, he that's what he's supposed to do. It's his. Of course, he's supposed to go and reproduce. If he didn't want to, he would have cut, snip. Like, you're an idiot. She's an idiot. I'm sorry.
Tell us how you really feel.
Okay. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, judging by seeing her on this episode, I'm like, you chiming in and saying, "Well, don't call me my girl." I'm like,
she's not.
They can verbally jump you because your people's is not here.
She's not an intelligent woman. I don't understand why she's on the show. And her and Kenya don't even look like they're really friends.
Oh, she's friends with Kenya out of necessity. Okay, I'm trying to be on this show. I'm trying to get a peach, girl. We don't know if they gonna have a peach because I heard Andy talk about recasting them. They asked him about, is there another show that you want to recast?
He said when she was on ATLX's, the doctor said she could get them untied. That's what I said. If you get them tied, now if they're burned or cut and snipped and burned, then that's a different story. But if you just get tied, baby, you can go get them untied.
Why does she keep on talking about? Like, why does she keep bringing it up about?
She got no money.
Oh, okay. So go get your tubes untied and go have some babies and
maybe she ain't got that kind of money, honey. That's another invasive surgery, honey. I'm just saying that costs money. Invasive surgery. You got to pay for anesthesia and all kinds of stuff. You got people's whole salaries to pay over that, child. Anyway, next we see them at this pottery barn painting shit. I don't know. I didn't care. Moving on. We did see them at this slumber party. Drew say, Candy, girl, before you get up out of here, let me confront you. Hey, Montrez, girl, they told me you said and seen it. You ain't believe that I was really having an emotional moment. Girl, I had a whole meltdown and I had a Oscar-worthy performance out there, honey. You saw these real tears. These were real tears. All I needed was the Viola Davis patented snot bubble. And girl, that would have been Oscar worthy. Playing around. But you out here talking about and sing. It was nothing else to that, honey. Sonya talks about her family and really nobody cared. And started crying. And here we go to crying again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she cried because she saw Drew crying. Like, it's a girl. That whole scene. Let me talk about that scene. that whole scene, I was looking at that shit. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now y'all arguing, then y'all twerking, then y'all arguing again. It's giving Bad Girls Club. No, it's giving baddies. Which actually is giving bad boys. Like honestly, like I don't know what's going on. This is there's no direction going on. No one's really talking about anything, and y'all just doing random shit. Like it's just
who is
my problem.
Yeah.
Who is the executive producer of this season? Because it's really bad.
My problem is the fakeness of everybody on all sides. Because if I'm Candy and I'm having whole ass meltdowns because of people like Marlo, and I don't want no parts of her, and I don't want to, I'm not being cordial to you, bitch. I'm not talking to you. Even if production tells me we got to film a scene together, bitch, don't sit by me, don't talk to me, don't look at me. I'm not being nice to you. Don't ask me to be nice. I'm not saying thank you. I'm not saying please or you're welcome. Matter of fact, I'm not talking to you. Now, every time I say something to you, it's going to start off with bitch. I'm just saying. But that's just me because when I'm done, that's it.
Yeah.
And if I'm Candy and if she really upset you, the way that Marlo, with the energy that you were giving earlier this season, bitch, you should have no words for her. Remember when they was at the slumber party and Marlo was saying to herself, "Oh, thank you. Oh, girl, all of this Kiki and we all nice and cool and shit." That's how you keep getting fucked up. You trying to play nice with people who don't play nicely because they know you're gonna turn around and still try and play nice. I fuck that bitch up every time I see her. I throw some shit right in her face every time I see her. Soon as that bitch walk in the room, because see, production wouldn't try me. Y'all wouldn't keep telling me, "Oh, you got to be in the room with her." Okay, fine. Let that bitch walk in. You better not have nothing around me or nothing I can pick up, because I swear I'm gonna throw it at this bitch.
And what was going on? What was going on at the end where Candy was getting into it with Drew?
Are we just gonna skip to the end, or
we did just skip there?
That was. I mean, what else was there to talk about? It was a slumber party, and then.
Listen, when I tell you I was on my phone the entire episode, I couldn't tell you.
I mean, did I miss something?
Well, what happened was Drew. Somebody mentioned Drew kissing or making out with LaToya.
Yeah.
Drew said, "I ain't make out with her. That's a lie." Candy said, "I saw that shit with my own fucking eyes. Don't tell me what the fuck I saw." Marlo confirmed that she saw it too. But Drew and her, her and her acting, she was like, it ain't never happened. Even in the confessional, have you ever kissed a girl? I never kissed a girl. Girl, girl?
Be who you are.
Flag on the play. I feel like when these housewives, when they lie about shit that's on camera, Robin, or lie about shit that like can easily be refuted, that should be cause for you to get demoted or either be demoted to a friend of the show or get kicked off. Because what's the point? Like, I mean, granted, and then also, where was this camera footage? Was someone recording from their goddamn iPhone? Like, what was going on?
Giving very much that, yeah.
Well, remember, they said that this happened after taping. All of this was filmed after taping.
So who filmed it?
Well, I don't know, because somebody said that Candy said she didn't even know she was being filmed because production had left, and so somebody was taping that shit from their phone.
And it looked right. It looked like the camera was like downward.
Yeah,
like somebody was like recording.
It was somebody's phone. It was somebody's phone. Probably Marlo's.
I hate Marlo.
I'm gonna get them.
This is a horrible. Like, this is a really bad season. I think it's the cast. I think Marlo is just not giving. Drew, Sonya, it's not.
No. And Kenya needs somebody. She needs a proper person to spar with.
Yeah, Kenya is nothing without Portia. Kenya is not.
Well.
She doesn't have anyone to pick on. She's nothing without. She's nothing without Portia, she's nothing without conflict. If anything, maybe she could go back and forth with Nene, but we know that's never gonna happen. Kenya is not that girl. She's not. Look, she's not enough to carry the show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand her.
She need a sparring partner, and ain't nobody really trying her. And she really not really trying her. I mean, like the fact that she sat there, and I think she faked that whole incident situation. I think just to get out of taping for a day. I was on here technically, so y'all still got to pay me.
It's the same thing when she was in Alabama. She didn't want them people to go to that thing where her. Remember, she had done got mad.
She canceled the thing. I'm like, girl, but did you get paid first? Because I know they probably asked for you. Girl, it probably was never a thing. It probably was never a thing.
Anyway, that was the whole episode. God, the fact that I had to watch it, and because I just wanted to watch it and not be bothered, but I had to take notes, so I had notes for the day. Oh God, thank God, it's not my week next week. It's your week now. You have to suffer through, Darren.
Next episode don't look bad.
You said that before.
You've been saying that since episode 1. What are you talking?
No. Wait. What's happening? Next? Because it was something that I wanted to see.
I don't know. I don't even really care. I didn't even pay attention to what's happening next.
If you can't recall what the next episode is going to be, it's because it's not given. Let me say this for the record. From day 1, episode 1, I've been saying that this season was going to be some shit. I just want to be clear, and I'm gonna keep on reminding y'all. No, let's give it some time.
We gotta marinate.
That's Darren. Darren is the let's give it some time. It's so bad out.
We gotta lead with optimism, okay?
They don't even give me shit that I can just enjoy. If it's gonna be boring, at least give me some shit where I can appreciate some shit. You know what I'm saying? Give me Jenna from Real Housewives of New York, slick shading bitches with every comment she makes and every move she makes, just to let them hoes know, bitch, I'm above you. Bitch, fall above back.
Or Potomac.
Girl.
Oh, the episode is where Drew's divorce and the affair storyline starts. Okay, yeah.
Where she messed around with Mimi's ex. Isn't that Ty who was with Mimi?
Yeah.
I love to get her a woman that's not really gay and like just experimenting. Like, why don't you go and get you a woman that actually likes women?
Right, get you a real lesbian.
Wait, who not a real lesbian?
Mimi.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, she do look like she munch a little bit.
Drew ain't no real lesbian.
Come on.
Now, Drew look like she experimenting. She's definitely experimenting.
I'm not saying she don't experiment. I'm not saying she can't lick a cat or two, but she ain't no real lesbian.
That's what I'm saying.
She don't have key card access to the Rainbow Coalition compound. Let's be clear.
I don't feel bad for people within the community that date outside the community and the shit don't work out in their favor. Like, hello.
Like, we might give Drew a day access pass at the Rainbow Coalition compound, but girl, that's it, baby. You don't have an official key card, does it?
Drew gives curious church girl. Okay, so it's giving very much. Let me try this out.
Yeah, I don't think Drew is gay.
Drew don't give me that.
Nor does Mimi.
Nor does Mimi.
No, Mimi definitely. No, she definitely gives that. Like,
no,
she definitely gave.
It gave this man broke my heart, and now I don't want to be with another man again. That's what it gave. That's not the same thing as you being gay.
Well, we'll see if she ever gets with a man again, because she's been in the Lady Pond.
Mimi ain't no lesbian. She not.
Maybe she got converted. I don't know. I'll go check the roll and check the roster and the roll down here to the Rainbow Coalition compound and excuse me, and see what she got going on. I usually don't pay attention to the L corridor because that's not my area. I don't have access to that area. But I got some friends over there. I'll check.
Xavier, she did not lick Toya. She gave her a kiss. Kissing a girl does not make you gay. Come on now. Y'all know that.
Katy Perry did tell you that she kissed a girl and she liked it. She did say that. That's what Katy said.
I mean, who hasn't?
Okay.
I kissed a girl, but that didn't mean I liked it.
You didn't like it?
It was overrated. I had a whole girlfriend. We used to be banging it all.
I'm
That's my thing.
Anyways.
Anyway, so y'all, let's delve into some hot topics. So the hottest topic of this week is started with the weekend with whatever troglodyte that was, and I don't care how nobody feels. That girl that made the original video was a troglodyte and an idiot for saying what she said.
Not a troglodyte.
I'm just saying.
How about me and she in my comment section on TikTok writing me a whole 4-page dissertation because I said to her,
How is she out here being a Leah? I'm writing you a 4-page letter and closing it with a kiss.
and her mom, and this is like some exclusive tea. Her mama is also in my section misgendering her, telling me not to.
Wait, her mom is calling her a man or a boy or girl?
telling me not to talk to her son like that.
Oh, oh.
I haven't even responded yet because I'm trying to
talk.
Girl! Y'all got exclusive tea right here on L Teddy 27. So the mom of I don't even know her TikTok name. I know it's something Blessing or something. Blessing Rose. Okay. The mom of Blessing Rose doesn't even accept her transness. I'm not saying the mom is right. I ain't saying the mom is good. I'm just saying you got exclusive information right here on L Teddy to the 27. So you heard it here first.
And that's what her underlying issue is with cis women. She ain't got it's her mom.
But even if you got an issue with biological women, you know, whatever, why is this whole thing about menstruation? Having a period, menstruating absolutely is only something that either a biological woman or a trans man has the ability to do. Period. And I got you, Medusa. And most trans men take hormones and things like that and stop having them. But I'll let you go, Medusa.
Oh, I didn't know that. So thank you.
Yeah, most trans men, some of them don't, but a lot of them take hormones, and when they do start taking the hormones, they do stop having periods. But just like a lot of female athletes will tell you, when they're in training and they're really training, they stop having periods as well because a lot of their the testosterone in their blood will really, really start to kick in. And they, you know, for a period of time will stop having period. Where's my medical expert, Janae? Janae, pop out the bushes and please explain for us. She probably typed it already.
Clearly, you didn't say nothing wrong because if you did, she would have corrected you. So, you know, I think you're on point with that. I will
my
say
thing is, even women don't want to have no period. Let's be clear.
I do think that we should refrain from using terms like biological woman, though. Like, I think we should just say cis woman and trans woman because I do find that
I don't. The problem is this with the terms. So many people get so upset by so many things. Some people get upset with you saying cis. Some people get upset with you saying biological. Some people get upset with you saying whatever. I don't know. I just say go with what makes you comfortable. As long as we can identify who or what you're talking about. Someone born with XX chromosomes. How about that?
Go ahead, Darren. Go ahead.
No, I mean it becomes difficult to figure out like what is the right terminology because there's always going to be somebody's like, oh, well, you need to say cis or you need to say biology or you need to say real. You know, it
right. Lil Baby put that in.
Have their period stuff. Hello. What happened?
No, I'm here.
Xavier said women don't own period. Women ain't trying to own period. But let's be clear. Those born with XX chromosomes, okay, don't nobody own nothing. It's something that happens. Men don't own dicks either or ejaculating. But guess what? They do it because if you have an X chromosome followed by a Y chromosome, chances are you probably are able to ejaculate and have a penis. In the same vein, if you have an X and an X, chances are, and you were born with the X and the X, I ain't said woman. I ain't said cis woman. I ain't said biological woman. I'm keeping it straight to chromosomes and DNA. Okay, you can identify however the hell you want, but the bottom line is you can probably menstruate if you have XX chromosomes.
But you know what I heard recently, because I've been watching Miss what you called her, El Teddy? Kroger, the Essence Rose or whatever.
Blessing? Troglodyte.
Troglodyte, okay.
Stop it.
No, well, here's how it all started. Basically, yeah, because the person she made a video talking about the whole thing entirely. A trans person, a trans creator, said that their process of the hormonal pills and going through the trials and tribulations of becoming trans, like the pill part, like the medication part, she's calling that a menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
And she was getting clowned for it, and that's when Blessing came in and was like, no, and y'all don't own the rights to da. And that's how
but that makes Blessing sound even more asinine and idiotic.
Hold on, but who was the original? DeAndre?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that name. Who that? Who is that?
That's probably, she's like the biggest, like the top trans girl on TikTok, and she's like a little girl. She's like literally like 17.
Yeah, she's a young girl. Yeah.
She's like 17. And so when she first started on the app, she was like 14. Here's my thing. Because this is some TikTok tea, right? It started on TikTok and it went viral, and now here we are.
Now everybody's talking about it.
Right. Again, my whole thing, I have made critiques about the language that we use. You know what I'm saying?
Words mean things. And you taking your regimen of hormones does not equate to a goddamn period. You sound like a goddamn idiot. That's just, there ain't no arguing that. That's not a goddamn period.
Side effects.
Yeah. Self-induced. Like, you created these.
Like, it's this. Do you not have enough trauma, pain, and anguish going through being trans enough to where you have to try and put on this extra cloak of, oh, I got to feel the pain of having a mission? No. I don't even understand that.
Okay, so it's two things. One, my critique with Blessing, I told her the video that's actually taken off, that's at like a little over 50K now. It's her language. She uses very divisive language. But so when, like, the whole conversation about, like, well, who owns a period? Like, who the fuck, like, even like what I don't even know how to like defend that. Like,
there's no such animal as anybody owning anything.
Yeah, it's not
talking about.
But that's
oh my God, Tracy here. Hey
Tracy.
Hey Tracy, boo.
She uses very like language to like confuse the masses.
Yeah.
Something else that she said, which is crazy. This is when that's another thing I want to say. There's a lot to say. Blessing Rose is not like an accurate depiction of trans women. Like, there's, you always have that one. Like, she's just.
But
I just want to.
But Medusa, that was the point. Before we got to where we are now, when I first saw just the Blessing chick and Jess, I said we have two outliers, two people who are exceptions. They should not be deemed to be the norm, and you have people gravitating to two people who are both wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Blessing chick was wrong, way out there off the deep fucking end. Just hilarious, matched her being equally as off the fucking deep end and wrong. And both of them look very hateful, insidious, and hurtful. And you have people, millions of people, attaching themselves to hateful and wrong comments and now trying to equate those to being the norm. So then when you have other people
like T.S. Madison
try to attach themselves to any of that, I wouldn't have even got in that fight. Because
I wasn't mad at T.S. Madison's response, but Angelica Ross, I want her to sit her ass down.
I think first, no, Angelica Ross was not the wrong one here.
First,
I don't think she was wrong, but I just don't. Go ahead. No, actually, no, she was wrong.
And my thing is this, Jess. If you was beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. Why'd you bring it to the whole community? You brought it to the whole community, so the whole community was coming for your ass.
Okay, I agree with that. However, my thing with Angelica Ross, though, because
but no. Let's timeline this. Let's go back.
Yeah, go ahead.
So after we had the two wrong people, T.S. Madison technically should have just stayed out of it, because even in her trying to say something to Blessing Chick, she did shade Jess Hilarious. Now Jess Hilarious was awful. Jess Hilarious and what she said was awful. Blessing Rose was awful too. And if I'm T.S. Madison and I am known when there's trans issue, people are putting a mic in my face and they want me to speak on it because I am influence celebrity, Blessing Rose is not the heel that I want to fucking die on. That would be like me saying I want to die on the heel of some person like a Tim Scott. Tim Scott is not the heel that I'm going to die on as a black person. Let's be clear. There's a whole lot of gay people who they say something, I'm not going to go and try to windmill in the streets for them, because that ain't the hill I want to die on, because I know that they are inherently wrong in some of the things that they say. So I feel like it could have been left at that. Leave it to the people that don't have your brand, don't have the notoriety that you have within the space to discuss it. Okay? But it went from T.S. Madison picked it up. She slick shaded Jess. Now, I will say that. I'm going to let y'all go from here. Now, T.S. Madison, you was wrong, because if you're going to come at Jess Hilarious, call it by name. Don't try to do the subtle shit. If you wanted to call Jess Hilarious out and say, bitch, you ain't shit, you wrong, fuck you, and fuck everything you said, call it out by name. Stand on it 10 toes down. Because what T.S. Madison did was, at first, she didn't try to call Jess Hilarious. She tried to slide it in there, because she was starting to say women, sometimes get confused for men and not put a name on it. And when Jess Hilarious said, bitch, you talk about me, and came right back at T.S. Madison about the name. Now T.S. Madison want to be bullied in the China shop. Girl, you're supposed to be bullied in the China shop from the beginning. Right.
But let's dissect what T.S. Madison initially said. She basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, that really the reason why a lot of cis women may have the viewpoint as Jess Hilarious is because, unfortunately, people like Jess Hilarious, they get mistaken for being trans. I think she was more mad at that, and that's really why she was waiting for an opportunity to make the video that she did.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. As a cis woman, I'm gonna have. I really don't think that non-cis people should be like trying to psychoanalyze the mind of a cis. Like, you can't tell me this is why you don't like trans women, because da da da. Like, it's not your place. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to assume,
I would agree with that. It was shade at Jess Hilarious.
It wasn't people in the community.
She knew.
It was cis women saying that too.
She strategically placed that shit because she knew it was Jess Hilarious, and Jess Hilarious had told us that she had been, I'm
not mad at, I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you for critiquing, a transphobe, but for you to be like, oh, the reason why you don't like trans people is because you get mistaken for a trans person. That's a bit of a reach.
Well, it's not. She was responding to Rose, but at the end of the day, when we look at the video clips of her talking about this type of stuff and her getting this happening to her numerous times, it does look like, y'all motherfuckers, just saying, y'all mistaken me for this, and this is not what I am. So I'm gonna prove that. Look, I don't mess with it. I don't do this. Like, it just gave that. And then when they showed the clip of her in that interview, part of the reason why she probably went real crazy on that video was because of that. I'm inclined to believe that. I may be wrong. I
don't know. I feel like Jess Hilarious probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed, watched that decided to press the button at the wrong time just went nuclear and chose violence.
Can I speak on the behalf? I don't want to defend Jess Hilarious. I want to be very clear, but I do want to speak on the behalf of cis women. I think it's a multitude of a lot of different things. I think that there are a lot of cis women who are transphobic, and they do need to dissect this internalized transphobia that they have. I think that there are some cis women who do feel, I guess threatened, if that's the word, what have you. But I think some women, it's like, okay, girl, when is enough enough? Like when can, I feel like a lot of cis women, they're like, even myself, it's kind of like,
Let me say what you're trying to say. I got you, Medusa. I got you. Tag me. I got you.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. I'm a girl of a certain age, so I've seen a lot of transitions in how we are as a society and how the LGBTQ community is. And one of the things that I see about a lot of these younger girls is they will come out, and instead of using cis biological women, whatever you want to, XX chromosomes that still identify as women, and they will try and be adversarial to them instead of seeing them as allies, as they've been throughout a lot of our struggle. In a lot of our history, it was especially Black women. A lot of them were the ones who were by our sides and right there along in the fight, in the struggle. And a lot of the older girls always would be right there with their, that's where the term Judy's came from, Judy Garland. But that's a whole nother lesson that I could teach at a whole nother time, how we got the term Judy's and stuff like that. But my point being, there was a certain level of camaraderie, respect for each other that the trans women had for women who were born women and identify as women. And what's happened with these younger girls, a lot of them want to go viral. A lot of them want to have a moment. A lot of them want to be seen as, it's me against the world. Everybody's fighting against me, because you may have trauma from your mom or some other women in your family that may have given you trauma, and you try to assimilate that or put that onto all of the women that you see. And so now anytime you talk to women, you become adversarial, as if there's it's trans women against women born as women, identifying as women. And that's not how it was.
Yeah.
And so now Black women got to take it from, they already been taking it from white people. They already been taking it from Black men. And they weren't taking it from the LGBTQ community. But now the LGBTQ community is, specifically in this case, the trans women, some of these younger girls are now giving it back to them. And they said, girl, now wait a minute. Eventually, girl, I got to come out here and speak for myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of the critique, and I'm going to add, and a lot of the critiques that some trans women do make, and this is my issue with Angelica Ross, is laced in misogyny. And this is why some women, and I don't agree with this, but some cis women will say, some of the critiques that you say are something that a man would say. You talking to me like you're saying the same thing that these cis men say to me, but you say that you're a woman. And that's, that's their experience. With Angelica Ross, for her,
what did she say? Let's get a play-by-play on what she said.
I'm gonna get to her in a second, but I just want to emphasize, because we talked about this on my channel yesterday. I feel like back in the early, I agree, these new trans girlies are something else. It's Gen Z. Like, there's just a new. Anyways, I feel like back in the early 2000s, it was a point where it was like, oh, I'm a trans woman, but I will never ever be able to identify with cis women. I take inspiration from the cis woman, and I look up to the cis woman. That's how it was in the 90s and early 2000s. Now, these trans girlies are telling cis women, no, actually, we're the ones who taught you how to be a woman. You learn your femininity from us.
I'll say like
this. Not all of them, but there are some who get on public platforms with millions of followers.
But I'll say, because that's another issue, Medusa. Now, I will say, as a historian, in these things, there are some things about that are right. But what's not helping, we have a perfect storm of things that have happened. The first part of the perfect storm is there's no real LGBTQ plus history that's being taught. None. And there are very few people who can go back and really have done the research and really teach the history. So that's one. So nobody's learned that many things that do equate to femininity or female display of what it is to be female in Western civilization did come from heterosexual, and that's going back to the 16, 17, and 1800s.
Yeah.
However, comma, that's conflated in the perfect storm with you have this explosion of women born biologically born women and identifying as women who have attached themselves to the culture of the gay community. They've taken on all of their mannerisms, their vernacular, and so forth.
We take from
And
each other.
and so you have when both of those things happen, it becomes this perfect storm where you got people fighting and don't even know why they're in this whole fight.
And that's why we shouldn't be fighting, because we've
They're
been
not at all.
we've
Have
been taking
always
from
been
each other.
allies.
Yeah, we've been
Those
taking from each other.
Those two people, the gay trans community and women, especially within I'm talking about black people now,
Yeah.
have
The black
always been
community.
allies, going all the way back. But white people, the white supremacy, the whole, system has tried to make it where, no, we're not going to let y'all be no allies. That's too many people. That's too much strength. So let's find ways to conflate and get these people to be adversarial. And now we're at a point where people are doing this.
You brought it up because when Rose and I've been dissecting a lot of her videos because they're coming through my For You page now. Oh my god, how this video, that clip that we all saw on all the blogs, got
from
viral.
2 years ago. From 2 years ago. Don't forget that part.
Hey, yeah, okay. Didn't even know that, but thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
Went viral again because a conservative white commentator or a social media person posted it, and then all the blogs posted it. All the black blogs posted it.
And it happens like that every time.
Are really making us
every
flash.
time.
And for years, cis black women, and the black queer community, we had an alliance, but like we never had no third party trying to come in and try to break us up. But white people gonna always find a way.
Can we talk about Angelica Ross though, and why my issue with her?
All right, so let me put up the Angelica Ross.
I just looked at it too. So
let me make sure I put it in order. I hope I have it in order. God.
Oh Lord.
So I think this.
That happened after the fact.
That was the first one.
No.
Was it this one was first? No.
Was the one
I
with
thought that
hair.
one was first.
It was the one with Jess.
With the hair.
No, this one was not first. This one.
That one was first.
I know that one wasn't first.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
That's the last one. That one came last.
Okay, no, that's why I had a problem.
That one came last after a whole bunch of comments. The first one, because I went to her timeline. I scrolled. So I went to her timeline.
Who wrote this? Is this Angelica writing this?
That couldn't have been first, because why would she DM her cursing her out? She ain't say nothing yet.
You slid in my DMs. Still trying.
This was when she first said that Just Hilarious was in her DMs.
Still couldn't produce if you try, homie. Andrew, and a new way to bleed, huh? A lot of y'all more and more stupid by the fucking day. The gag is weak. Okay, all right.
So that came out first?
I believe that was first.
How did that come out? Why would she DM her this?
I agree. It don't make no sense. Thank you, Darren.
Now, Angelica is saying that Just Hilarious DM'd her.
Out of nowhere?
Girl, I don't know.
No. I think that first picture with with her hair.
No, the hair was last. I went to her timeline. I went back like a week or two.
This is shit that I be talking about, bro.
This was next.
It's always an issue when a trans girl gets a licking. Now we want everyone to calm down. Flame was iconic for getting a licking for the girls on Comic View on BET, with Char Underwood was hosting. She simultaneously revealed how transphobia hurts all women. Flame received huge blowback from that, and I think it hurt her career. So what does she do? She learns not to make transphobic jokes at cis women, but to use the old school comedic skill of self-depreciation and get laughs. Child, she's reading.
I will say that when I first saw Flame Monroe, it was on Comic View. That was in the 90s.
This is what internalized.
And Flame Monroe completely switched. Flame Monroe is the polar opposite of the Flame Monroe that I first saw. And so now she's the Candace Owens
Wait,
of the
so
trans community.
so Flame used to come at the cis girls in the beginning.
Well, Flame used to come at people who had something to say about trans women.
Okay.
And now she's completely polar opposite.
Yeah.
Because it's popular.
And so this was the last one.
And this is my issue. I didn't like this.
Well, okay.
The trans girls are going to show. The trans girls are going to show a new way to bleed. We calling it reading for blood, and I promise you, girls don't want no part of this. I'm trying to keep the girls calm, but it's only so much I can do. Listen, Angelica, let me tell you something. This is not.
They trying to have this whole World War III.
Thank you.
Against this.
This is not what
Girl,
you
ain't even got to be that.
This is not what you want. At the end of the day, me calling you a man is more hurtful than you talking about my hair. Like that's gonna be all. Like there's nothing that at the end of the day. Like come on, and I would never do that.
Here's the deal, and here's where I have to speak for. I'm not speaking for all black gay men. I'm speaking for this black gay man. What's going to happen is this is the whole the trans community and black women, and they're going to lump gay men into this. We're going to be lumped into this. We have nothing to do with this. This ain't our fight. This has nothing to do with us. This don't involve no parts of us. But now we're going to be lumped into this.
My thing with, and I agree. My thing with Angelica Ross, though, I'm just like, at the end, I'm like, okay. At the end of the day, the conversation was regarding.
Wait, no. Should I play the video? I do have the Flame video. If you're ready.
Don't nobody want to see old Crater face.
Before we get there, my thing. Can I just say my issue with Angelica?
Okay, go ahead.
My issue is this: we were talking about menstruation. All right, like, and I get it, you want to readjust and this and that, but my thing is when y'all start talking about people's physical appearance, it kind of, to me, it doesn't help your movement either, because now it's like, at the end of the day, my hair and my appearance does not make me any more or less of a woman. Like you're by your logic, you're less of a woman because you're clockable. And it's just like, I thought we established that the way we look has absolutely nothing to do with our womanhood.
You can't fight transphobia with transphobia.
So
Angelica Ross.
I don't think it was transphobia. I think it was some misogyny, if you ask me.
Okay. Listen,
this is what I'm talking about. It's like y'all be making the same.
What's about to happen is the trans community is gonna start looking for the gay community to be out here windmilling. Girl,
no, that's not happening. This
is not our fight.
It's not gonna happen.
Y'all fight. Y'all need to go check y'all girl.
But let me just say this one little thing. Okay, because when you playing the dozens, and everything goes. Okay. And that's exactly what was okay.
And the thing about it is, it goes back to what I said with T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison should have never jumped in this.
She shouldn't, because she's not the best person.
You should have never jumped in this.
But what if you felt targeted watching that video? They probably felt targeted watching that video. She made it about everybody.
BigDickBitch.com does not have the range to engage in these conversations either. If we're being honest, we didn't forget about them buying days. You set the trans community back. Wait, like, come on, stop.
Now I'll be honest, and I've said this publicly. T.S. Madison says a lot of problematic things as well. She does. Yeah. All the time. A lot of problematic things.
I mean, you remember them Queen Court days with Kaya. You used to say a lot
Thank you for saying that.
She said a lot of problematic things.
With a blatant transphobe. So stop. You are not the one. Right.
However,
wrong person.
What I'm saying is, I think that Jess shouldn't have even got into this. Because, first of all, it's like your grandmother used to tell you, when you're arguing with a fool, nobody knows who's the fool.
Yeah, because you done got low with her.
Right.
You got.
And the thing about it is, Jess, when you saw this idiot Blessing Rose talking about menstruations and stuff, girl, you should have paid it. Like, girl, I ain't even got that type of energy. I don't even want the period I got. Girl, boom, let me keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? It's just not
everybody. I think everybody was playing the dozens, and people were saying stuff. And you know, when you going back and forth with somebody, you don't.
Some people say stuff they can't take back.
You don't care how bad it sounds. everybody's being real irrational right now. I think it's a problem. Angelica Ross shouldn't have said that. I don't think Jess Hilarious should have said that either. I mean, we all said we.
Speaking of who shouldn't have said something, Flame knew she shouldn't have said this, which is why she took it off her page. Mama took that mess down.
Hey, this is comedian Flame Monroe, and this message is directed to Angelica Ross. Angelica Ross, I don't know you, young lady. I have no issues with you. Whatever your problem is with me, you need to take that shit up with you, your doctor, or your maker. Because the next time you speak my name in a negative way, I'm going to tell the entire world everything that I know about you. If you want to know what I know about you, Paris France, who you had moved here from Louisiana, and you put her out, came and stayed with me for 2 days. I was the shoulder to cry on and the ear to listen to all of your business. The next time you come after me, ma'am, sir, ma'am, I'm going to go live and tell everything that I know about you. If you have an issue with me, you can meet me here each and every Monday at the world famous Laugh Factory. Because when I drop it, it's going to destroy you. You better stay in your lane. You mad at everybody else because you cut your penis off. And I'm speaking directly to you. That is not a vagina. That is a sore. You ain't mad at me. Call that doctor and get your dick back, sir. Bye.
Corny, tomato.
What is wrong with her?
Everything.
What's wrong with he, she, we? Her words, not mine. She literally wants to be called that shit. Maybe I shouldn't call her that.
Girl, she need to worry about getting that damn window putty out her damn cheeks.
Fix a flatten shit.
Okay. That's what you need to worry about, Jack Nicholson.
You just made me spit all over my computer.
No, because I'm sick. Girl, I'm sick of her.
Flame Monroe is problematic.
We literally talked about this yesterday. I said, "Yo, she really about to say something. She gonna say something. You know, Flame gonna say something." Girl, if you don't shut up, girl.
First of all, Angelica didn't even say nothing to you that bad, okay? She didn't even really come at your throat like that.
She shaded her.
She did. But girl, I mean, I can't tell nobody how to clap back, I guess. I don't know.
And can I add that's T.S. Madison's like good girlfriend. Like,
I thought they're not friends no more.
Oh, they're not?
I heard they don't talk like that no more. Like she don't.
Well, either way, they were still good friends at the height of her problem. Like that's my thing. T.S. Madison loves being friends with transphobes, which I think is weird. Like,
I'll say this. Let me say this. There is this. I'm hoping that this dies down because, like I said, what's going to end up happening is they're going to lump the entirety of the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm almost at the point, this is going to come out very controversial and harsh, but I'm at the point now where I don't want to just lump all of those letters together. Because like I always say, each one of those letters have very different experiences, very different struggles, very different points of view, oftentimes do not understand the other letters, and many times don't get along. I'm telling you, the G, most of the G wants no parts of the T. And that's just being brutally honest.
But all of y'all are a part of the Q, right? Like, isn't queerness?
Yeah, queerness.
It
lumps everyone. So I don't know.
But the problem with with lumping people is the same problem when they call all minorities people of color and equate all of them together as if they all have the same experiences or all get along and that's just not how this works. You know how many I've met so many gay men that said, I don't have any trans friends. I never met or talked to a trans person in my life and don't want no parts of them.
And they be thinking that you the spokesperson, like, oh my god, there is so many like straight people to be like, well, what do you feel about this? And I just feel like I'm like, look, let me tell you something. I don't know.
I can't tell you a single thing about diversity in the world. Nothing.
You know, but you know, I don't want to exclude like a group of people that is under our color.
Well, can I say this? as a heterosexual cisgender woman, I'm gonna be honest. Within the community, the people who I like, that I identify with the most are gay Black men and trans women, but probably trans women. Like we're here, like me, like for the most, with the exception of Blessing Rose, she's always the outlier. But for the most part, in my
don't nobody like her.
Yeah, in my experience, it's like Black trans women. Like that's why, like, and see, that's why I think a lot of things. It's like the shit that we see on TikTok is not an accurate depiction of how we interact offline.
But Xavier, that's the point that I'm making. There are members of the G who are transphobic and want no part, which goes back to what I'm saying.
Well, there'd be a lot of there'd be a lot of gay men that are transphobic as hell.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying, and that's the point that I'm making. That you lumping all of these people together as if, oh, we're all over here on this island singing Kumbaya and everybody. That's not how that works. It's just not that way.
I find a lot of like gay women to be homophobic as fuck. Like I get along with trans Black women more than I do gay women.
There are a lot of lesbians that are homophobic. They want gay men.
In my experience, I don't have the best track record with lesbians because I find that in my experience, a lot of them try to emulate men, and I don't like them. So it's just like.
And let me just say that to your point, El Teddy, though, about like, you know, the gays kind of exiting the room and kind of disassociating themselves with trans. I think what has happened, and I do not care how this sounds, I feel like we as gay men are at a point where we are kind of tolerated, and the trans community is kind of fucking that up. If you really get into the, like what the conservatives are talking, and I'm not saying they're doing it maliciously. I'm just saying them just being here is kind of.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I mean,
I'll say like this. I think we're at a point where all minorities are at a point where they're being, if you don't fit into the big five, it used to be the big four, now it's the big five.
What's the big five?
The big five is white, male, Christian, heterosexual. That was the big four. And the fifth one now is rich. If you're not white, male, Christian, heterosexual, and rich, they don't want no parts of you. And they're doing everything they can as a country, as a society, as a culture to tell you, we're going to take your rights away from you. We feel like we're going to be able to do whatever we got to do, pass whatever laws we have to pass, enact whatever things we need to enact to let you know that you are inferior and we are superior. And the problem is because every other minority won't say as a group, as we won't as a collective of minorities coalesce and form this coalition to fight this. We're going to be divided. There's always this divisiveness. There's always this separation of, you need to understand that you're different, instead of this coalescing amongst each other. Because let's be clear, most of the Black community still wants nothing to do with anything LGBTQ+.
Can you repeat?
White women want nothing to do with Black or other minorities, but they're their own minority, and they're getting their right stripped because they think that they can side with the big five, and they don't fit there, and they're getting their right stripped. It just doesn't make sense. So with all of these people pulling at each other, like you said, and the point that I'm making is, Darren said that they're one group is being hurt by the other. That is what they want us to believe. And so instead of everybody coming together and say, you know what, let's just fight this demon. And, you know, get everybody their civil rights, because civil rights is rights for all human beings, then we just going to be divisive and allow them to keep dividing us, and nobody gets anything except for the big five.
Wait, what's the big five again? I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
White, male, Christian, heterosexual,
and rich. Christian. I learned something today, and I'm gonna use that. You motherfuckers is a part of the big five, and that's your.
You gotta have all five. If you don't have all five, you don't fit into you. They want no parts of you, because you could be white, male, Christian, heterosexual, but if you ain't got no money and you poor, you're one of them.
But the ones who do have, let them have at least two of the five. And they be feeling
And they feel like they have, and that's the part. That's the point that I'm making.
Because they
my issue
feel
with
like
black
it's going to
men.
get taken away by somebody else in that's
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue with black
But
men.
that's what I was trying to say earlier before y'all shut it down. I'm saying, I mean, look, things have gotten a lot better for us. Like when we're talking like gay men, like let's be very clear. A lot has, we got the gay marriage thing, we got that,
Right.
But in the last 3-4 years, things have been beginning to be stripped. There's an all-on attack on the gay community as well. It's happening under the cloak of darkness and subtly. And by the time they figure it out, it's going to be too late because things would have already been put in place. Look at that whole thing with the lady who won the Supreme Court lawsuit about not wanting to do a website for a gay couple that wanted to get married, and that never happened. It was completely made up. Nobody ever came to her. She never made a website for nobody in her life. But the lady went all the way to the Supreme Court on something that literally never happened and was fictitious out of her mind. And the Supreme Court acted on that and said, now you can discriminate against somebody. And now in the great state of Texas, I'm telling you right now, there's a judge that says that she's going to the Supreme Court because she was forced to provide marriage to a gay couple and it's against her religious beliefs. And now that they passed the Supreme Court law with the website, she feels like she has the backing. Gay marriage is coming down next. Roe came down, so is gay marriage. And you know what they're going to enact after that? Sodomy laws. The young kids don't even know what a sodomy law is. Don't even know what that means.
I know exactly what that is.
But for the young kids watching, sodomy laws makes it illegal to be gay. So if you walk down the street and you have the wrong twitch in your step, the wrong limp in your wrist,
you can get arrested.
You will be seen as somebody who looks like somebody who performs sodomy, which is now illegal, and I can throw you in jail because I assume that you're gay and you're performing sodomy, which now makes you a criminal.
Yeah, we are slowly losing. A lot of people are losing their rights, and I said this also with your show. I said we are fighting each other so much that they are over there creating laws that's going to be against all of us.
And that's what makes this whole argument so sad is you got these people having these visceral, arguments, just dog walking and dragging each other when everybody is subject to the same oppression.
Yeah.
Everybody.
But that's what they want. But that's what they want. They want us to arguing.
And none of these celebrities and influencers have said, hey, stop. Let's just stop this. Trans women love black women, and black women, we love our trans women. Let's join together. These idiots that want to fight, let them go out in the parking lot and fight. But the rest of us, we love each other. We've been loving each other and loving on each other. Fuck all that dumb shit. We got too many other big things to go on,
right?
That we need to fight for. Because black women are being killed, whether they're cis, biological, trans, or whatever, they being killed. All of them.
Yeah, we all are being killed.
All of them.
Yeah.
We're just worried about the wrong things, and
right.
That's what it boils down to. And
could we not coalesce to dog walk Carly Russell? How about that?
Because now that's gonna start another riot. Because some people want old Carly to go to jail, and then other people are saying, which I think is ridiculous. And then other people are saying that she has mental health insecurities, which I also think is ridiculous. I think the bitch is just an attention whore, and I don't think that being an attention whore warrants you going to jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then, if that's the case, then we got to revisit Juicy.
Juicy Boosie.
Well, I think his is worse though, because he really said, it was a whole lot. It was racial and
it wasn't worse. It's the same thing. They both.
It's about the same.
It's the same thing.
It's the same. It's Carly. It's the same.
She faked her own abduction.
Because from now on, ain't nobody go stop if they see a child by themselves in the stroller on the side of the road. Ain't nobody. Baby, you see that car? Car's put that up for you, honey.
All right,
Baby, we gonna keep it moving.
I ain't stopping for shit. Now I still believe Justin Xavier.
Xavier, I'm gonna need you.
I'm still holding on to Jussie too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still holding on to a friend.
My man in prison, he ain't do that shit, Your Honor.
Yeah, I really believe that 2 white men saw him at 3:00 in the morning and below 0.
I know that. I think he got confused. I think he had a bump, and him and the 2 Osindaro twins had had a good bust down. He had a bump and came up with that. I don't know.
Well, in any case, he lied.
Who's next? We didn't talk. We talked about this for longer than the Housewives, but we needed to though, because the conversation was necessary.
No, it was a needed conversation because there's so many layers to that.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to that, and I think what happens is you have people that are poking at some of the most sore spots, and people do that when they play the dozens. They're going to pick at or poke at the sore spot with anyone, because we're hearing people say some of the most insidious things, and nobody wants to back down. Everybody feels like, I ain't gonna let you get me. You reading me, I'm gonna read you harder.
Right.
And
it's like 2 kids fighting over 1 spoon, and knowing the damn parents got a whole set of utensils in the damn kitchen. You need to get to the source.
I mean, everybody's proving who could drag who the worst.
And it don't. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Who's next?
That's just what it is.
Who next, Nene?
That's just what it is.
Lanithia.
And so I don't know. I mean, we got whole countries around this in the world that are, making it illegal for you to even say you gay. You know what I mean? You get death penalty and life in prison and stuff like that. And we over here arguing about dumb people. Huh?
We over here arguing about who owns periods.
Right, about dumb shit. Who owns a period? Nobody wants to own a period. Nobody.
People with vaginas own that.
Lanithia.
It's not much to say about Lanithia, honestly. It was a good interview. Now, wait, hold on. I'm mad that the next interview ain't coming out until motherfucking August. Bitch, you could have released it this weekend.
Carlos.
Wait, he had a 2-part interview with Nene?
Yes, and it's not, the second part ain't coming out till August 1st. Why?
Because I watched the first one and then I fell asleep during parts and then I woke back up. Because I heard the part where she said, I made only $10,000 season 1 and I was broke and shit, and I ain't really care.
I believe it. You look like it.
I believe her wholeheartedly. I believe her. I believe Nene told the truth during that whole. I believe every part of what she said during that interview.
Well,
she has nothing to lose.
The only thing I didn't believe when she was saying that she wasn't threatened by the other women. Yes, the fuck you were, Nene.
I think she was in the beginning. She absolutely was in the beginning. But I definitely agree with her when she said, I think she said something like that it changed after the 4th season when you started adding people like Kenya came. Did Portia come that season with Kenya?
Yeah.
Yeah, Portia and Kenya came season 5. I think, when did Cynthia come?
Season 2.
Yeah.
Cynthia was all right because she came with Candy, you're right. But definitely by the time Kenya came, those girls had an agenda. They knew exactly what they had signed up for. They knew exactly what they were doing. And that was a money grab and a, publicity grab. Because let's be clear, Kenya Moore wasn't doing nothing before she came on Housewives.
I was just about to say that.
To say that, now the only thing I won't agree with Nene on, the show was bad when Kenya came on it, or the show lost something when Kenya came on it. I think the show had one of its biggest viewings.
No.
I think what she's saying is, go ahead, Medusa.
She was saying that there was a certain level of like upper echelon before Kenya came on, and once Kenya came on, she brought on that like that love and hip hop vibe to the show, and they weren't on that type time prior to that, and I do wholeheartedly agree with that. And my last point is, when Mark Daly be making these critiques about how Housewives of Atlanta doesn't represent Black women in the right light. I first of all, I don't agree with that. But my thing is, if you want to go with that argument, okay, well, let's be very clear that Housewives didn't start misrepresenting themselves until your wife and the mother of your child came onto the show. Because shortly after that, that's when they had the first physical altercation on camera. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna
because Kenya, when Kenya came, I think season 6 or 7 is when Phaedra came.
No, Phaedra came season 4 because she was on the Africa trip. South Africa.
I thought Phaedra was after Kenya. Was Phaedra on the Africa trip?
She was not after Kenya. No,
she was before. She was the season before Kenya, or 2 seasons. Or whatever. I think she was 2 seasons. 2 seasons before. She came on season 3. Yeah, she came on season 3.
Yeah, but Kenya came, and you saw she came in there with an agenda, and it changed the whole atmosphere of that show.
You're not gonna blame the damn downfall of Real Housewives.
No. What I'll say is it's not just her, because those women had to go along with it. Mm-hmm. Kenya can't do it by herself. Those women have to go along with it, because if they don't go along with her fuckery, then she has to fall in line. But they feel they went along with it, and they got paid for it.
Now, the thing of that Nene said that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think that Kenya was the first one to fake a storyline. I think that Kenya was the one whose fake storyline was more apparent to the viewers. It's like, it's clear as day. And then not only that, you don't make these men sign NDAs. Like, these men have come forward, multiple men have come forward and said that you were paying them to play your boyfriend and things of this nature. So, and no one else has done that. So,
and the thing about it is, too, it's disingenuous as well, Nene, because after Kenya came, y'all started getting paid and broke off.
Yeah.
That's when ratings started to come up. Yeah. Y'all started to get y'all ass paid. And Nene, that's when you started to smell your own. You know how your parents say you smell your panties, or you smell your drawers. You started to feel yourself and thought you was going stratospheric and started being bigger than the show. Wasn't that around the same time she started being on Glee and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And so she started to feel like, so don't just put this all on, Kenya. You started to become, more plastic than you were as well.
And let's be clear.
I agree.
Your ass instigated some shit too. Okay, let's talk about Pillow Talk. To this day, Nene instigated that whole shit. When she sat there and was like, well, Kenya, you said a lot about da-da-da-da. Girl, you started that whole thing for her to walk over and try to attack that girl.
Kenya still should have sat her ass in that seat, though.
Man, look.
I
telling me not to backpedal, girl? I'm a girl. And
that's also the same season that she got dragged on the floor. Like, Kenya ain't shit. And I'm interested to see. I know we're not supposed to talk about the kids, but I'm interested to see how Brooklyn is going to be as an adult, or even as a teenager. Like, I'm just interested, especially growing up seeing. I mean, she's going to see clips of her mother. People are going to use.
I envision that Kenya as a mom probably is good. Like, even the clips that we see with her, I feel like she switches up when she's with her daughter.
No.
I'm hoping that maybe I'm just hoping and praying that she does, because I feel like she's probably inherently a good mom to Brooklyn. I think that Brooklyn's eventually going to see how horrible her mom is, and I don't know what that's going to do to her, but I think that I feel like she's a good mom to Brooklyn.
I'm not saying she's not a good mother, but I do think that this shit's going to switch up once Brooklyn becomes a teenager, because Kenya is threatened by, like, Kenya doesn't get along with Black women. Like, she has a horrible track record, and I don't think that excludes her own goddamn daughter. She also on Housewives was comparing, and I felt like she was kind of jealous of the relationship that Mark had with Brooklyn. So yeah, we see now she's
I
trying to.
wonder though, because a lot of girls end up being daddy's girls. You know what I'm saying? Even when the moms try to, have that close. So you see a lot of girls being, real close with their dad. So I
Mhm.
want to, I'm interested to see how that happens as Brooklyn continues to grow up. Um, I will say with the King interview, it wasn't a whole lot of fireworks. That Nene revealed. I was just like, oh, okay, some of this stuff we already kind of knew
I agree.
and
It was a good interview
understood.
though.
No,
Yeah.
I'm as much as I can stomach Carlos King because he really gets on my last
Yeah.
goddamn
Why
nerve.
don't you like him?
Mhm.
Carlos King is problematic, okay?
Wow.
And I think Carlos King is problematic for his. I think if we want to talk about the bad portrayal of black women, and I think it's Carlos King. Just look at what he's done with some of those shows that he Love and Marriage Huntsville,
Mhm.
Love and Marriage DC. The one show that's halfway watchable is Bell Collective, and he be trying to do the most on that.
I don't like. Is that a good show?
It's okay. It's okay. It's of all of the, it's it's the only one of Carlos King's shows that I watch.
Tracy, you think he hate? I will say that I do think that because I do watch Love and Marriage.
What?
I watch all. Yeah, I watch all the franchises.
You watch Huntsville, DC, and Detroit.
I do. I
No,
do.
I'm whatting that. I'm whatting that Tracy's comment. He hates black women and black fam.
I was
I
wanting
need,
that
I
as
need
well.
examples though. I need.
Well, I will say this because I watch his shows on OWN.
Mhm.
He does cast a lot of misogynistic men,
And
and
even his edits, even in how he edits it.
he'll cast misogynistic men, and then um for him for a gay black man, he don't really defend black women the way you would think he would. He be siding with the heterosexual misogynistic men.
Now, see some of the shows that I watched him produce. What did he do? LA Divas, the act. Remember that actor show that was on TV1? It was about like Countess.
Yeah.
He was like the reunion host for them.
Hollywood Divas.
Hollywood Divas, yeah.
I'm not sure if he did that.
Now, I that's where I know him from because he was like the reunion host. I thought he was like,
yeah, you're right. He did do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I mean, now that you think about it, I'm like, yeah, well, them dudes that was on that show was kind of toxic, and I don't remember him ever like siding with them. But
yeah, he sides with them. I mean, remember we talked recently. The most problematic thing was that this guy on one of his shows, what's his name, Maurice Scott. His wife has cancer and she's going through chemotherapy. And he was interviewing the husband, and the husband was talking, like applauding her for still being intimate with him while she's going through therapy, even though she doesn't want to. And he sat there and gave this whole cringy, dissertation or reenactment of
But Carlos King, he.
Well, listen, he was sitting there. He was like, "Yeah, I applaud Kimmy for quote rolling over and suffering through it." And in regards to his cancer-ridden chemotherapy going through wife, and he said that to Carlos King on his platform, and Carlos did not interject. He didn't say anything. He didn't cringe. He didn't make a face or nothing. He just like haha and kikied. It was hard to watch. It was very offensive and insensitive as well. Yeah, Carlos King is I think when we just was talking about like misogynistic gay black men. Like Carlos King is definitely one of them niggas that once he got the right to get married, he was like, oh fuck y'all. Like he just was like
not a Karamo.
Is he married?
He is married. Yeah, he talks
married to an African man. That's what he was saying in the interview.
Cringy as fuck. My African.
Yeah, he kept on saying that in the interview. It's like, yeah, I'm with my African. Like
I don't remember. Oh, you talk about the interview with Nene? Do I remember that? I was in and out.
That interview did have problems too, because them edits was a little. I'm like, did you need me to edit this? Because it's too many clicks.
He's married, yeah.
it's too many of the clipping of people's voices and stuff like that. Like, girl, you need me to edit this shit? Because what the fuck is the problem?
I'm gonna start watching Bell. If y'all say that Bell Collective is worth it, because you know
Bell Collective. Go back and start from season 1 though. I think we're on season 3 now. Season 1 was different from the seasons we have now.
I'm gonna go back and watch it because you know they done put it all on HBO Max because of the writer's
strike. Yeah,
strike.
season 1 was different. Now season 2 and season 3 is pretty much the same, but season 1 was very different from what we have now. They're on season 3 right now. So okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it, Xavier. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay.
Because I ain't got nothing to do.
I feel like there's something. Oh,
I got this documentary, this extra documentary on. I've seen another documentary on Aaron Hernandez. I thought I had watched them all, but I found a new one, so I'm gonna go watch that tonight.
Xavier gonna talk about it's not HBO Max, it's just Max. Okay, thank you.
Xavier, get your life in order.
Wait! Y'all heard about Dwight Howard child? He got on the interview with Angela Yee.
I saw the interview with Angela Yee. And all he said was, "Oh, I don't discuss my private life
I've had my
publicly and what I do. People are gonna say what they want to say. Girl, boom, you get your back blown out by Kitty and shit like that, and you over here ripping this man pants up." Now he did say on the interview that allegedly this what he said that the case is already closed, that he won the case because it was 2 years ago.
I don't nobody care. And the part where he said, they trying to take me down, they trying to do this to me. You're not that important, motherfucker. You are bi, at the very least.
Who is talking
about? You just came out and lived in your truth, nobody would care. That would take away all of these people's ability to put you out there. You know what I'm saying? Like you would take all of the power away from if you just came out. I'm pansexual. I like anybody who like me. If they, man, woman, non-binary, I like them. And if they make my dick hard, it's going in or it's going in me. I mean, just go out and say that and let it go. I promise you, it's gonna be in the news cycle for 24 to 36 hours. You ain't gonna get a whole 48, but you might get 24 to 36 hours. And girl, we gonna move on. And the next person that try to come out and out you, girl, because your nudes are already out. So, girl, they can't put out a sex tape, girl. We have already seen your nudes. That came out several years ago.
Where they at? Put it on the
White House peen pics came out years ago.
Put it on the chat. Put it on the chat.
Is it big?
It's not small.
Oh, okay. Oh, I could do that.
Now, granted, he's 7 foot tall.
So it's not big.
Okay, so
it's respectable for his size.
Y'all size queens ain't gonna be doing. We not doing this.
It's respectable. Medusa, you know me. We're size queens over here. Girl, y'all don't hear me say that. I've never admitted to being a size queen.
Come on,
it's good enough. It'll get it done. It'll get it done. Okay, it'll get it done.
Xavier, we talked about that on my show. Was it my show? Yeah, we talked about that on my live.
Yeah, there was I did a whole live on his son as well because that came out a few years ago, where his son is a pedophile and things like that. And
I don't think he's a pedophile. He's just a predator because he's
a predator, pedophile. What he was, all of the cases were people who were much younger than him.
Yeah.
So it gives pedophilistic tendencies, and Royce didn't do right by keeping him away from kids. So she ain't shit.
She's not. Tracy, ain't nobody's marriage I think is a stop. The only marriage I think is good is mine.
Period.
Listen, Royce ain't shit. She ain't. I think she's just in denial. She's in denial though. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk about Young Miami?
Child, Young Miami got her son. I talked about it. I'll let y'all carry this conversation because we talked about it yesterday. But yes, her son, 10-year-old son, out here with strippers in various stages of undress, and they giving him, money to make it rain on them.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, Young Miami ain't shit. But I'm gonna be honest. If I would have turned around as a stripper with my whole ass out and I saw a 10-year-old throwing money on me, I would have respectfully moved to the side. I wouldn't want no parts of that because I think that you're a willful participant at this point.
And why am I? First of all, I don't even like being in adult spaces with kids, and I don't like when people bring their kids in adult space. Why is your child here?
I agree.
So
like you could find a babysitter.
Well, listen, especially when they old enough to talk and communicate.
And yeah, this is a 10-year-old.
Is 10, right? The boy is 10.
Yes,
he's 10.
Old enough to like be able to really know what's going on. Like,
but you know what? There was definitely 10-year-olds going to Hooters though. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying I would do that.
Where?
Hooters. That's not.
That's the problem that I'm making with them breaking all these laws about drag performers.
Right.
Hooters has kids as young as 2, 3, 4, 5, whole families at Hooters, and nobody blinks an eye.
Them coochie cutters,
and Twin Peaks.
Nobody's coming around and clapping their ass at the table.
And Twin Peaks.
I agree, but nobody's coming around and you're right. I used to work at one of those establishments, and they did have it was a lot of some of my regulars were families. However, we wasn't coming around and shaking our tits and clapping our ass at the foot of the table, and the kids was engaged.
But neither are drag queens either.
No, I agree.
They make their whole ass laws.
I agree. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
I don't understand.
Oh, ain't your child 5? Actually, he's 10. Like it made it any better. Like the way she was defending her, trying to defend herself too. I was like, girl, you should have just not.
But you know what it gave? It gave the same feeling as when Blueface was scolding his 5-year-old boy because he talking about, oh, you don't see all this ass in here. You want to play games? Why can't children just be children? How about that? Because as a child, their hormones may not have kicked in to the point where now they're thinking about, oh, let me see what I'm going to have sex with. And even if it did, children are not cognitively, you're at the point where they should even be allowed by their parents to even think about openly thinking about sex and sexuality. Girl, what the hell?
Well, see, Young Miami, if y'all remember, she's the same girl that says she would beat her son if he was gay. She's trying to make sure. She's trying to make sure.
Which makes me think, and I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm like, I wonder if her child has like showcased some sort of tendencies and she's trying to like combat it. I think that's what it's giving. Because why do we keep having the same conversation with you?
Yep.
And your best friend is Tana.
Well, I side Santana more than her because why are you friends with a homophobe? Best friends at that. It's weird. It's like me being best friends with a colorist or with a misogynist. Like,
but these people they birds. These are bird folk. Like they.
Exactly.
You cannot expect these people to have some type of common sense.
My problem is this happened during Rolling Loud. And where is Department of Children and Families in Florida? See, we don't call it CPS in Florida. We call it DCF, Department of Children and Families, formerly known as HRS, but that's a whole nother thing. That's old school. Anyway, nobody called DCF and asked, why the fuck is this 10-year-old child in here with these strippers?
You know what, Xavier? I'm not even gonna put it on Florida because I'm out here in Philly, and these Philly parents are not shit.
Don't put that on Florida. Don't put that on Florida.
I'm not. They let their kids travel
because
around.
Ain't shit parents is not only akin to Florida. There are ain't shit parents across the fruited plains.
I agree. These Philadelphia parents, there's like a high rate of kids getting ran over, like hit and runs with children. And the reason why is because these Philly parents let their kids run around the streets. And while it's fucked up that people is running over your kids and hitting them and running away from them, at the same time, why is your child running around the street unsupervised? Like, it's nobody's job. It's a child that goes in.
Knowing them Philly streets is very, very busy.
That goes into the shit with Quad. Like, it's nobody's job to watch your child but you. Somebody dropped the ball. You heard about that shit with Quad?
I heard about that thing with Quad. My heart goes out to that family because I know they are over here Out of their damn mind. And Quad got to live with that for the rest of her life.
Yeah, because somebody dropped
That's
the
horrible.
ball.
I mean, and that's the first thing you learn. If you have a pool and you're going to have kids around that pool, get the little gate. You got the little latch gate or something.
Get the little alarm on the screen door.
I know it's a little too early because not a lot. They've been really like mum's the word. But honestly, Quad, that house is too goddamn big at this. Like, I think that you got too much damn house.
I'm not gonna go that far, but what I'll say is,
I think she got too much house to handle, and that's because let her tell it. That's the reason why she got all that house, was so her family could come and visit, and they can have this, that, and the third. So if you got this big ass house as a single woman, so that your family can come and visit, and you're not equipped because you're not a mother. You're not, so yeah, somebody at the end of the day, somebody was not watching that little girl.
I don't want to go. I think it's too early to go down that road. I do think that, these people are grieving, probably in 12 stages of grief right now.
Yeah.
And even it's still an accident. Like there was no intent. And, she's going to have to live with that for the rest of her life, knowing that, this is preventable.
Exactly.
And it didn't have, it could have been
passed away at your house. I mean, she might have to move.
I would move. I would have to. She needs to downsize, like for real. I'm sorry, but I do think
know if downsizing, but I don't know if I could still live in that particular house, knowing that that's where a relative passed away. Yeah, that and it was preventable. Yeah, that would bother me. Anyway, y'all, I think that's all the hot topics we'll cover. We've been on here almost 2 hours, y'all. We done made a whole live out of this, and originally started talking about these girls over there at the house gangs of Atlanta. God help us. Funniest thing about that episode was when they said Candy came in there looking like Cleo from Set It Off, because she absolutely the fuck did.
Day after day.
Absolutely the fuck did. Look like Cleo from Set It Off. Medusa, tell people how to find you and all of that good stuff. What you got going on?
I ain't got nothing going on except for me going live every Monday at 8 o'clock on my YouTube channel. Follow me at the YouTube at Medusa Show Off, and on TikTok at the Medusa Show, at Medusa Show Off on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, I'll be back every Monday on YouTube, same time, same place.
Can one of my hall monitors, can y'all put the Medusa and Darren's links in the chat for me, please? Yeah. Thank you, hall monitors.
Come follow me, girl.
Hall monitors. Y'all go and follow Medusa. She be around there rambling off, going off on people. I be around there every now and again when I get a good invite. But yeah, y'all going on over there.
Don't do that. Don't do that because you're supposed to come next week.
I'll come.
I say less.
Darren, tell the people how to find you and what you got going on.
You already know it's your boy Darren Green. This is the Darren Green Show, honey. We're here. We're still here. We over here talking about these hot topics. Okay, 200th episode is coming out on. It's gonna come out on Saturday, but we taping that thing on Friday. Okay. El Teddy, you are definitely invited. Hello, what's going on?
You might as well just make it a throuple.
Oh, I'll make an appearance.
But yeah,
I'll stop. I got to produce this Silly Saturday. Mm-hmm. I got Silly Saturday this Saturday. I will be in town for Silly Saturday, so I got to make sure I produce all of that.
Oh, okay. The taping will be on Friday. So
Friday, I can do Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, right?
Yep.
Okay.
8 o'clock, our usual time.
Okay.
So y'all go subscribe and all of that good shit. Perfect. Y'all know what I do. I ain't got to tell y'all. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we give over here. Could have been a lot of places, but you decided to be here with me, and I am very appreciative. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.
Bye, y'all.
I'm out. Bye, y'all.